I recorded this video for Valentine's Day, and I am, I am way off. I have missed that by a mile. Rom-coms were a staple of cinema in the 2000s. It seemed like we were getting a new addition to the genre every day, whether it was some garbage like Good Luck Chuck, or something surprisingly sophisticated like 10 Things I Hate About You, which is actually from 1999, but who cares. The genre was prevalent enough that it got its own spoof with Date Movie. At the time, this genre was so widespread that it was able to be parodied. Could you see a rom-com parody coming out today? Now, the genre seems quite thin. But while the standard for rom-coms in their glorious late 90s, early 2000s heyday might be dead, the genre as a whole might be more alive than ever, for better or for worse. So let's look at some of the rom-com giants. I'm talking The 40-Year-Old Virgin, I'm talking What Woman Want, 50 First Dates, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, those kinds of movies. There's a weird coziness to rom-coms that I feel like our parents really got to enjoy, but our generation, being so self-serious and so anxious of being called cringe, has largely missed out on. Now, date night is relegated to watching episode 5 of Loki season 2 on the bedroom TV. That sucks. We need other couples to laugh at or even judge. I think a big misconception with rom-coms is that women want romance like what they see in these movies. But I think that isn't usually the case. A lot of women and a lot of men, not all, want romance for romance's sake, not because they saw it in a movie. So just because Adam Sandler is trying to woo his movie girlfriend over and over again because she has memory loss, doesn't mean you need to go bashing your girlfriend over the head to impress her. So we're talking about rom-coms. And I say people don't really want romance like they see in the movies. Do you think that's true?
Like, give me an example. I don't watch a lot of rom-coms, so I don't know.
No, that's fair, but you have
What,
seen...
like stopping you from going on a plane to
Yeah, shit like that.
I feel like there's a certain group of people that would like that though. And they are probably the same group of people that read like romance books too.
Oh yeah, probably. Okay, so these are like people who are definitely invested in romance.
But it's also, I don't know if we should talk about this because this is really stereotyping and like really like this is just me talking about my ass. Like there's like no research to back this up.
Okay.
But I feel like it's people that are definitely lonely and they don't know what actual romance is like.
Or people with partners who don't do anything.
Yeah.
So the only like frame of reference they have is movies and stuff.
But there's also probably people who like big, extravagant, romantic things like that.
Do you think they get these ideas from movies, or do you think...
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. A lot of these movies shared a particular flavor, that flavor being bad. There's a subsection of rom-coms that are specifically erotic. Do these even count as rom-coms? I guess they are rom-coms for early 2000s guys that look like this. These movies usually suck. I'm not saying your average rom-com is much better, but these usually have lowbrow humor and are arguably really just softcore porn. It's obvious why these went extinct. First of all, nobody is buying unrated DVDs anymore. Secondly, people's attention spans are so destroyed from easy access to fully erotic material that no one's going to sit through a 2-hour movie just to maybe see a dude make a funny O-face. Streaming is also rarely into making movies that please everyone, and therefore no one, with movies like Red Notice. But romance, that doesn't have an easy app equivalent. Unless you count Tinder, which, buddy, if you're thinking of Tinder as a romance app, I have some unfortunate news for you. You'll find more romance in someone asking for toilet paper from the person in the stall next to them. So what are we doing to fill this desire for romantic movies? Well, in the 2010s, we had more and more everything movies. Movies were making billions, streaming was starting to pop off. So you got more and more movies that were designed to tick a bunch of boxes. So before, when a movie could be a rom-com, in the 2010s, a movie had to have romance, sure, that's a good start. Comedy, okay, cool, we're good there. Action, okay, now we're shifting to something else. Movies needed to be massive crowd pleasers, which meant not too much of anything, but a bit of everything. Some were marketed for their romantic side, some for their action, and some for their comedy. Essentially, without rom-coms having their own dedicated place in the industry, blockbusters had to embrace romantic subplots to broaden their appeal. Of course, romantic subplots have always been a thing, but many people would agree they are largely shoehorned in since the 2010s. It's hard to say whether this is a result of waning interest in rom-coms, growing interest in blockbusters, or romantic movies being deemed as streaming movies. What do you see being like the ideal rom-com? Like what can a rom-com do to make you watch it?
Nothing. I don't like rom-coms.
Okay, but say
I don't like romantic plots because there's romantic plots in every single movie. I'm over it. I don't want to see that, you know?
So in a way, not that you would watch them, but you do kind of wish that romantic movies had more of a presence because
I wish there were more rom-coms so that there'd be less romance and just like the regular movie. Because if I wanted to watch a romance, I would go watch a romance. I don't want to see a romantic subplot in every single movie I watch. We were talking about this a bit yesterday, and I said it's as if you were watching a movie or any movie and every single movie had a horror jump scare in it.
Yeah.
It's like those are supposed to be for very specific audiences. If I wanted to go watch jump scares, I'd go watch a horror. If I wanted to go watch a romance, I'd go watch a romance. I don't want to have a horror jump scare in my drama movie, you know?
Yeah. So you wouldn't watch a rom-com or a romance movie in general, but you do see their value and their place, and you do kind of wish that would come back because it'll sort of broaden what movies are.
Yeah.
And people have more choice, and it isn't just that one movie has to be everything all the time. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But now we're in the 2020s, and things are definitely changing again. I don't think we'll ever get back to how this genre was in the 2000s, but that might be a good thing. There are rom-coms all around us if we just look. Because the only people keeping cinemas alive right now are people who actually give a shit about movies, a lot of rom-coms are disguising themselves as good movies. See, before, movies were more available for everyone. So buying or renting a DVD of some random bullshit wasn't a big deal. But now, every movie has to either make money in the cinema or streaming. And it seems like studio execs are starting to figure out that if your movie is good, or at least looks good, people will see it. And there's a lot more money to be made in the cinema than on streaming. So now, rom-coms are disguised as period pieces, indie films, adaptations, and Oscar bait. That is, at least for the few that actually get cinematic releases. Because while it's true that you may never get another movie like Definitely Maybe, you will get thousands and thousands of movies that are far, far worse. Rom-coms exist in the absolute underbelly of the film industry. I am, of course, talking about the Hallmark movies. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not American. Where I'm from, we don't have the Hallmark channel, but we certainly do still have access to your shitty Hallmark movies and other movies like them. I feel like these movies truly stretch the definition of rom-coms, but more so because they stretch the definition of comedy. These movies are nothing. I only really know about these movies because of their reputation online, but just taking a quick look at them, I can already tell they do nothing to uphold the already flimsy reputation of rom-coms. And truthfully, we do get rom-com parodies today, but we get them on Instagram Reels and TikTok. Hallmark movies are mocked and parodied to death because small fry movies beget even smaller fry parodies. And what do you think of rom-coms? Do you like rom-coms?
I personally do not enjoy rom-coms, but that is not to say I don't think that rom-coms should not be a thing. I think there definitely should be a thing, and there is definitely a market for them. I'm just not a part of that market.
Do you think that market, because you mentioned the market, do you think that market is still active?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Just look at how many freaking rom-com Christmas movies there are. They are forever being made. There has to be a market for them. Otherwise, why would they make them? Why would they make so many of the same plots?
Okay, so I think you and I strongly agree on that point that rom-coms definitely do still exist. They just aren't a big player in the cinema.
Yeah, I think it's for a very niche audience, but it's still like a big enough audience for them to warrant making it.
Yeah, and definitely an active audience, but probably a small audience because those movies are very cheaply made, straight to streaming movies.
And also like the plot is always the same thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that really lives up to the legacy of rom-coms from the 80s to the 2000s. They're different breeds.
Yeah, for sure. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment about what you think about rom-coms. Yes or no?
Considering this output of low-budget holiday movies, rom-coms disguised as grander movies, and everything movies, what does the output of actual rom-coms look like? According to Wikipedia, which is by no means perfect, between the years 2000 and 2005, there were 492 rom-coms. On the other hand, between 2020 and 2025, also a 5-year period, there were 485 rom-coms? Wait, that can't be right. There were only 7 less? Well, Wikipedia counts rom-coms internationally. So in both counts, they aren't only including English rom-coms. Now, I don't know how true this is. I haven't gone through and counted each one, but by just skimming the lists, it seems possible that the difference between these lists, and a big reason as to why we don't seem to get as many rom-coms, is because most of the rom-coms being made nowadays aren't American or British, and don't receive international distribution. And I think I know why this is. While audiences have grown disinterested in rom-coms, they are still quite cheap to make. Here in South Africa, we were getting a lot of locally made rom-coms throughout the 2010s. As non-American film industries grow, cheaper films need to be made. So there is inevitably a batch of rom-coms that come out among other dramas or low-budget action. So what do you guys think? Do you lament the loss of rom-coms and their weirdly erotic cousin? Or are you saying good riddance and enjoying the new age of covert rom-coms that seem to have more substance? Or do you just love the easily digestible, cozy vibes of the new wave of straight-to-streaming rom-coms? I want to hear all of your opinions in the comments below. But I also want to remind everyone that we are still pushing for 1,000 subs. We're getting closer now, and when we do reach our goal, we'll be doing a little celebratory stream. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.